Hi, Raymond. Thank you for meeting with me today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Kind of tell me what's been going on since the last session.
I don't know. I'm just having a really hard time. My wife, she's gone 6 months ago. I just been in the house and I'm depressed. I don't really, I'm afraid to talk to people because I don't want them to know. I don't want them to think I need like more help, like a nursing home, and I don't want to be a burden on my kids.
Mhm. Have you been having any like intense thoughts of either harming yourself or just intense thoughts at all surrounding sadness or hopelessness?
I I'm more sad. I don't have thoughts of harming myself, but I every day it could be either a good day or a bad day. And I would say that more days are bad.
Okay. Knowing that, I just want to ask you a few questions where you can kind of tell me in the last 2 weeks where you've been at in terms of what's been going on in the house, okay? You've previously answered that you had little interest or pleasure in doing things more than half of the days of the week, but not all. Is that still true?
Yes.
Okay. How about, feeling depressed, down, hopeless, still over half the days, but not all every day?
Yes.
All right. Difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. Would you say that that's a few days a week, more than half, all every day?
I would say that's more than half, almost every day.
Feeling tired or having little energy?
More than half.
Appetite, overeating, or poor appetite?
I don't really, that's a hard one because it's like, when you're by yourself, it's not like you're gonna cook a meal. So I think I have an appetite, but I just don't go out of my way to make something. I'll usually eat something simple.
Okay, and so you feel as though you're eating enough, but you're not necessarily meal planning.
Right.
And so would you rate that as no days a week or just a couple days a week where you're not eating enough?
Maybe a couple.
Okay. Feeling bad about yourself or that you're a failure or have let your family down?
Yes. I would say
More than
I
half or every day or a couple days?
I would say a couple days.
Okay. Trouble concentrating, like with activities such as reading the newspaper or watching television?
Yes. Very much so. More than half.
All right. Moving or speaking slowly, so much so that people have noticed. Have you noticed any of that, like moving, speaking slower than normal?
I don't think anyone's noticed, but I haven't noticed either.
Okay. Thoughts that you would be better off dead or of hurting yourself in some way?
No.
Okay. Do you have any access to a gun? I just have to ask that.
No.
Okay. I want to explore a bit more whether you've still been using alcohol to sleep at night. I know last time we met, you said you're drinking 6 beers a night to help you fall asleep. Have you made any changes to that?
I sometimes I have more than a few, but most time maybe just a couple at dinner time.
Okay. All right. So I know in the last session, you said something to the effect of you didn't want to burden your family with your grief or with your sadness. I want to explore that a bit more. So you've told me you have 2 sons, right?
Mhm.
How is your relationship with them?
Oh, I think we have a good relationship. It's just they're busy. They have occupations that they're busy, and they have families, and I don't want to intrude, or I don't want them to think that I don't want anybody to think that I need someone to take care of me. I don't think I need someone to take care of me. But I could use some help maybe, but not, I don't believe I need them to come in and take care of me or place me somewhere where they think that I need to be.
Okay. Have your sons ever communicated to you that they would be, less likely to help, or that they're so busy that they'd be unwilling?
I don't think they would be they would be unwilling to. I think they
Okay,
would be willing to, except I just don't want to burden them.
I see. Okay. I think that your sons would most likely be happy to know that you're reaching out to them if there is a problem, right? If you're home and you're feeling these feelings of sadness and loneliness, the loss of your wife, it's a big loss, something that takes time to settle into this new normal for you. I think that your sons would be glad to know that you're asking for help if you feel you need it. I'm sure they're going through their own, grief at this time, right? You can
Mhm.
all use each other to explore your feelings together and understand sort of how you move together as a family without
Mhm.
your wife. What are your sons' names?
Bill and Sam.
All right.
Those are their nicknames. They're not their birth names, but that's what we've always called them in school. They had a hard time with their names.
Okay. Do you have any friends that I know generally you said it was your wife and you had a very strong unit and you didn't have a big social circle, but are there any, people that have come into your life since your wife's passing that you may be able to use as a social support?
I mean, I had a, I had a, when we used to go to AA meetings, a long time ago, when I was sober, there was a guy he has come in and he has stated if I needed anything or anything, he was a good friend. Yeah.
Okay. What's his name?
Um, John.
Okay. All right. Today, I mean, I appreciate that you're opening up to me regarding, the relationships that you have and potentially using those people as a social support, especially since you're still grieving. What I want to do is just collaboratively come up with a safety plan for you. Now, I know you're not having any thoughts of suicide and you do not have access to a firearm, but when we experience a sudden loss like this, and the feelings can be so overwhelming, things can happen rather quickly. And we just want to make sure that you feel you're in a place where you have the supports you need and even the coping strategies that you need to get through, those really acute moments of sadness. Um, have there been things you've done in the past where you've used, like skills that you've used or distractions to help you through stress or sadness before?
Yeah.
Okay, what are some of those things?
I like to go out and kind of put myself, I like to go outside and sit on a deck and look at the birds. I like to be outside.
That's great.
Mhm.
And that gives you like the peace, that moment of peace that you need.
It's really calming and it's something that my wife and me used to enjoy doing. So I feel connected when I do it.
That's great. Are there any other things you can recall?
I used to journal.
Okay. That may be a worthwhile habit to pick up now, especially where there's so much going on with you internally.
Mhm.
Um, but those both are really good, suggestions for, those moments of real sadness, turning to those things to help you feel better and, maybe helping you to avoid alcohol as well. Have you been
Mhm.
using the trazodone at night and has it been working, or do you feel it's not effective?
I don't find it real effective. I've been taking it for a long time. It doesn't seem to it's like this window I have to catch and it's just very I take it and it's like if I feel like I missed the window and it's like I'm up even more longer than I would be.
Mhm.
I've been on that dose for a long time.
Okay, so what I'm thinking we'll do, at least for right now, you'll stop taking the trazodone. We'll see if some of these changes, maybe the journaling, going outside, avoiding alcohol, we'll see if we can get you into a better sleep routine without using a medication. Perhaps we can get you in a place where you can, get into a better sleep pattern without any assistance from medication. What I would like to do, because it sounds like you're alone most days, I would like to see you participate in like a senior center, with a senior center group and or a grief support group. There will be a lot of people at these facilities that are going through similar experiences that you are, and it may help you to understand your feelings and how you can, better process your feelings and how to get through it without feeling like you're alone. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I've always been sort of like a loner. I spend with time with my family. I could see it being beneficial and being able to go there and maybe meet different people, maybe other people that have lost their wives, or maybe a woman that's lost her husband. So I could see that, but I'll try. I could try it, but that would take a lot, but I'll try it.
Okay, well, I'm really glad that you're willing to try that. That says a lot about, you and your willingness to improve, how you're feeling, and get you squared away.
I'm not saying I'm going to go every day.
No, and you don't have to go every day. I don't think that that's
Mm.
necessary, but I think you'll be surprised to find that you might actually find more friends there that you have more in common with. And they, like I said, if they're going through something similar, that relationship may develop naturally,
Mhm.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to briefly just discuss was it looks like there's been some concern for falls, you've had lately. I see that you have a cane. You've not been using it at home, correct?
I haven't really been using it at home. I do need to, but I kind of forget about it.
Okay.
It's not hard to use it. It's just that I'm not used to it really. I get up and I just start going and I realize I don't have it. And it's like I need to do better with keeping it on me,
Okay.
making sure that it's like in sight next to me so I can use it.
Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to encourage you to use your cane as often as you can, especially at night when you're walking to the bathroom. I know you're up quite a bit at night. Do you have night lights in your house?
I have one in the bathroom,
Okay.
but not in the hallways or anything like that.
All right. Is there any clutter in your house?
I have some rugs that are in the hallway that could potentially be difficult. I have tripped on them a couple times. I keep on meaning to pick them up, but
Okay, so maybe these are simple things we can do just to decrease your risk for falling at night specifically. A few night lights here and there will go a long way, removing the potential tripping hazards on your route to the bathroom, and then using your cane if you can remember to. All of these things can help you, at least from that safety standpoint. What I also want to do is refer out to maybe a visiting nurse to come see you a couple times a week. She can help you with any ongoing medication changes that we make in future sessions, but she can also kind of just do a safety check in your house as well, just to see if there's anything we might be missing in terms of preventing those falls. And then we can refer you also out to a social worker. These are just supports for you that, if you're feeling like you're in a crisis mode, that you can reach out to them. Okay, in addition to me, of course. I don't want you to ever feel like you're alone, even though it does sound like at times you feel comfortable in your solitude. I do want you to know that when you're feeling additional sadness, or even if you're start having thoughts of suicide, that you have people that you can reach out to. All right. So just to regroup from the safety plan standpoint, some of the warning signs that you described to me during the session include increased sadness, increased loneliness, and a sense of being a burden. If you feel like those emotions are really high on any given day, we want you to use some of the coping skills that you mentioned, the journaling, going outside, looking at the birds. These are things that can help you feel better in the moment. And then I'd like to see if you can get over to the senior center or the grief support group, which I'll provide you with information how to set that up. And it's not something you need to go to every day, but something that can help you like once a week, maybe, just to go there. And like I said, a relationship with other peers might develop naturally. And I want, since there doesn't seem to be ongoing conflict with your sons, or your friend John that you mentioned, they also sound like they could be potential supports. Now, I know that you said you don't want to be a burden, but my thought is that they're also grieving. So to hear from you might help them as well. And you can go through this process as a family of grieving together. I think that that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I'm really glad that you came today and were willing to meet with me. I know it's not easy. So I just want to give you, some positive feedback there that you still are showing that you care enough to meet with me. Okay. And that you want to see some positive change. Do you have any questions for me?
Will these referrals, will they contact me? You
Yeah.
said
So
they-
I'm going to contact the local VNA service and a local social work office. They will reach out to you to schedule a meeting with you. It'll be in your home, so you won't have to go out. And then I can also send you to your portal contact information for the grief support group and the senior center. Again, these are resources for you at your convenience and when you feel you're ready. But I do think it can help you as you navigate these emotions, and potentially help you if you're really feeling a crisis coming on. Okay.
Okay, okay.
All right. So we're going to meet, for, the next, a few weeks at a minimum, like I would say 4 to 6 weeks. I've seen you, previously in the office a few times, but we're going to continue to develop the safety plan and see how you're feeling. And in terms of sleep, if we do need to revisit medications, maybe we add in a melatonin. We'll figure it out as we go. But for now, I want to see if you can either eliminate or minimize your alcohol intake. Do those safety, small little safety things that we mentioned in your house. And the visiting nurse can also help you with that. And stop taking the trazodone because it doesn't seem to be helping. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. If there's no questions from you, that'll wrap it up today, and we'll meet 1 week from today, if that's okay with you.
That works.
Okay. And I will send you a follow-up email about everything that we discussed and a copy of your safety plan to your portal. Is that okay?
That sounds good.
Okay. All right. So Raymond, I will see you 1 week from today. And I thank you again for seeing me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.